Hey, friends, for decades we have been told that humanity is moving forward. We are wealthier, healthier, and more connected than ever before. But if I tell you we are not, what if behind the headlines and GDP figure lies a darker truth? In many conceivable ways, we have actually gone backward over the past 50 years. You don't believe me? Okay, this video dives deep into how the world has regressed politically, socially, environmentally, and morally, and why our so called progress might just be a myth we tell ourselves to feel better about a broken system. The first thing we should look into is political regression, hope to distrust. In 1975, the world was divided, more fractured, but at least stable, at least superficially. Now, see, I understand Cold War was dangerous, but nuclear deterrence kept global powers in check. However, today, we have more wars, more instability, and a growing collapse of trust in democratic institutions all across the globe. Global trust in the government is below 50% in most democracies. And I'm not saying that. It is a survey by Edelman Trust Barometer of 2024. US, once a beacon of democratic leadership, now ranks as flawed democracy. Again, I'm not saying this. Economist Intelligence Unit 2023's report says that. Autocracies have expanded their influence. Many countries and even most of the countries with democracy are seeing shrinking press freedom and rising censorship. Social media, instead of connecting us, has been weaponized. The same platform, which we thought will empower us, empower movements of people, now spread disinformation, radicalize, and erode public trust. Second, social backsliding, division, depression, and disconnection. Yeah, 3Ds. See, I agree, we have made huge progress in LGBTQ plus rights and gender equality. We have actually accepted it. We are reforming it, and that's a good thing. But then what about social cohesion? It has collapsed. Let's accept that. We are more isolated, divided, and depressed than ever. According to WHO, loneliness is now considered a global epidemic. Trust me, world is getting more crowded day by day, and we are turning more lonely. Where are we heading? Now it's a global epidemic. Depression has increased by over 25% globally since COVID-19 pandemic began. And I'm not saying that Lancet 2022. Suicide remains one of the top 10 causes of death globally. WHO report with little progress in prevention. Our societies have become angrier, more polarized, less empathetic. Political and cultural divisions have hardened. We now live a sort of an echo chamber, addicted to outrage and less tolerant of opposing views. Environment. Don't say that we didn't knew what we're doing to our environment and we kept doing it. I understand we need progress, but I'm just saying we kept doing it. In 1975, the planet's CO2 concentration was about 330 parts per million. Scientists then warned us that it is not good. And you know today where we are? We are at 424 parts per million concentration of CO2. And that's a report from NOAA 2024. And yet emission is rising. Despite decades of climate summit and green initiative, we are closer than ever to ecological collapse. And the global temperature have increased. You might have read in the report. We have lost 69% of global wildlife population since 1970, as per the report from WWF Living Planet 2022. Over 1 million species are at risk of extinction. I'm not saying that again. It's a survey. Microplastics have been found in human blood, placentas, and even breast milk. Scientific report, multiple reports between 2022 to 2023. I mean, just imagine placentas, microplastic in breast milk. What are we feeding to our kids? Annual global temperature I was talking about earlier now regularly exceeds pre-industrial level by over 1.1% per degree, 1.1 degree Celsius, with 2023 being the hottest year ever recorded by NASA. Progress? Come on, man. It's a willful destruction masked by greenwashing and delayed actions. Let's talk about finance. Let's talk about GDP. Yeah, I agree. The global GDP has grown from $5.4 trillion from 1975 to 105 trillion today. But do you know the top 1% own nearly 45% of all global wealth? I'm not saying that. World Inequality Report 2022. In United States alone, CEO, the Chief Executive Officer's pay has grown by 1,460% since 1978, while the workers' pay have more or less remained same when you include the inflation and other economic calculation into that. Real wages in many countries have stagnated or declined when adjusted for inflation, especially in post-COVID situation. We are working more. We are not getting time to balance our personal life, but we're still struggling to afford basics like housing, education, and healthcare. We have been hearing all along that these are the basic needs we need to solve. Every government says we need to solve, every world institution says we need to solve, but we still struggle for it. Whereas the upward mobility, has it become just a myth for most of us? I don't know. For you to decide and judge. Is inequality the new normal? Yeah. Are the disparities rising? Despite technological advances, there are disparities seen in health, education, and opportunity have grown. Over 250 million children are still out of school globally. UNESCO report from 2023. 2.6 billion people remain offline without access to digital tool. ITO report 2024. Access to quality healthcare remained deeply unequal. Half the world population lacked basic healthcare services. It comes from the combined report of WHO and World Bank. Maternal mortality is increasing in some developed nations like the US, where black women are like 3 times more likely to die during childbirth. And I'm not being racist here. I'm just reading the surveys. I'm just trying to say how we're going backward. It can happen to anyone. It's all about the disparities we're talking about. Instead of closing gaps, we have entrenched them deeper. Let's talk about crime, a more dangerous and controlled world. Do you think crime is reduced in your neighborhood? Yeah, street crime might have reduced, but it has just evolved. One form of crime has been taken over by another form of crime. Cybercrime is now projected to cost the world $10.5 trillion per year by 2025. Digital fraud, identity theft, surveillance, capitalism is affecting billions. Global incarceration rates have surged, especially in the developed countries, where over 2 million people are imprisoned disproportionately. And it's again, there are disparities between many more divisions. I don't want to name it, but more or less, global incarceration rates have surged. So if that has surged, that means the crime have definitely grown. Meanwhile, over 1 billion CCTV cameras monitor citizens worldwide, and AI driven surveillance tech is booming. In the name of safety, we have traded our freedom away, as well as the privacy with that. Let's talk about morality. Yeah, it's like no go topic for many, but yeah, let's touch it. Perhaps the worst regression is not political or economic, but ethical. In 1975, people still believed the future could be better. There were idealism, protest, revolution, hope. But what about today? We have just lost the hope. We have become desensitized and distracted. We have confused engagement with empathy. The moral courage to stand for the right and wrong has diminished. We have forgot our own principles. We have forgot what our elders taught us. We have just become hashtags and algorithms. We don't have time to even see how we're living our daily life. We've lost respect for others, and others have lost respect for us. It's a bad situation. Yeah, we have smartphones and rockets. We can edit genes and make new cryptos. But then it all depends how are we measuring progress. In this video, I try to measure progress by human dignity, sustainability, and justice. And on that front, we have failed. We have traded forests for profit, replaced things with community with consumption, substitute progress with productivity. The last 50 years weren't just about evolution, they were also about erosion. And now the future depends on whether we choose to rebuild what we've lost or keep pretending it's still intact and everything will be fine, nothing is bad. Choice is yours. This video was just about information, it was just about a critical analysis. Let's see how you react to this video.